Well, hey everybody, this is Brian and Karen over here at the Little Orchard Farm. Welcome to today's video. Today we are back on the chicken coop. We are framing it today. The goal is by the end of the day today, we will have the chicken coop completely framed and being prepared for the sheathing and the metal roofing. Well, all right, so today we're gonna take this tarp off. We're gonna take a look at the floor. I think Karen had made the suggestion that we put our we've got a rubber membrane that we're gonna put down on the floor, which should make it easier to just kind of spray out if we wanna clean that coop out or whatnot. We're gonna put that, take this tarp off, check the floor to make sure there's no rotten spots or any soft spots on the floor. We are using some older wood that we had actually bought for the cabin. So this has been sitting out. For the most part, it's been covered up, but a lot of time for the last several months, it was not. The weather finally got, I think, to the plastic tarping or whatever. But you can see this is one piece that we did not use. That's an $800 piece of wood. No, I'm kidding. But it's around the edges. It's really swollen and it's not a good piece of wood. And in fact, I think that was one wood that one of the pieces that we did lay down on the frame, and me or Karen one had kind of just stepped on it and we heard it crackle, and we were like, no, we can't use that. But I think we've got maybe a one or two other spots that's on this floor that we just want to check before we lay out our rubber membrane. All right, well, we're gonna get this plastic off and we're gonna get busy. There's a lot to do today. Let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna do this front wall first. We're gonna put our wall height at about 67 inches. That's not quite, not quite, not quite 6 foot. 6 foot would be 72. But with the pitch of the roof and the fact that Karen and I are not 6 foot plus tall, a nice close 5.5, almost 6 foot high sidewalls will be plenty big enough for us, and it won't get all bulky and everything out here. Our door opening will be 34 inches. I will custom build probably a door, and I'm thinking a Dutch door with a open and bottom sections that open independently, and that way we can always let air in through the door as well. The challenge is that I think on this front side, it's gonna have a window, and Karen and I went out shopping and we ran into a little place just outside of one of the little towns close to us. And the guy's name is Alabama Joe. Alabama Joe has a little trading spot, and we stopped in and picked up some windows. And these are like old windows. Anybody want to guess what the cost of this window was? It's a solid window. 2 of them. We bought 2 of these and paid $5. This is a $2.50 window. So we've got to frame this window out, and we'll have to get dimensions on that. And figure out how we're going to make it open. I have no clue. That's the task we got right now. All right, so let's do some figuring. All right, here's where we are. We've got our 2 sections of the end wall built here. And what I'm doing is up here at the very top, we're gonna link them together. We're gonna hook these together with the door header. Just sandwich a piece of OSB in between them and nail them together. And that'll give us our door header. Check what?
Just to make sure that I've got it right.
Alright, let me get a piece of wood. There you go. Just kick your wood out past it. There you go. There you go. Yep. Yesterday we were cruising right along with the chicken coop walls, and the rain hit us 6 hours ahead of the forecasts, and so we lost all of yesterday afternoon, which would have been huge for us to be able to knock out the framing on the coop. But we're going to get back at it this morning, and we're going to see how much we can knock out. Woo-wee. Oh, it's muddy. Oh, it's muddy. Yeah, we'll get this plastic off. Oh my goodness, look at how much rain. All right, so our next step in this build will be to add the boot, the beam boot, which essentially is what the beam is going to sit into and run the full length, so it creates the ridge line for the roof. But before we get to that, the next step that we did after getting all the walls erected was to install the double top plate. So we went back in, we tied all the corners and the walls together by installing another 2x4 all the way around the exterior and the interior. As you can see here, let me show you on the very, very top. You can kind of see how we tied the walls together by running it all the way to the edge. Now this ties all three of these joints here together. And then we, of course, ran it all the way around and tied anywhere where, you know, we made sure that we overlapped, which is what they call tying the wall together. So whereas this one ended right here, this one goes all the way to the edge out here. Okay, that's the top plate. Now then, let's get busy on installing this beam boot, as we're calling it. I'm not even sure what it's really called.
Called for one.
Yeah. Let me creating here. And so you take I'm going to take this and sit it right here. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our two pocket beams up, and now we are laying out our beam. We do not have a 20-foot long beam, so what we're going to do is we're going to double stack some 2x4s using screws and anything else we can think of to make this really secure. And we're going to run essentially two stacked offset pieces of 2x4 to create the rigid beam. We'll see how it works out. Nice fit. All right.
Am I doing it right?
Yeah, looks good. So Karen's adding screws on each side of each of the brakes, you know, a couple of inches out to a foot out on both sides to distribute that stress equally. Do not try to get it up there yet. Keep on walking it out. All right. Coming back to me. Okay. All right, got the beam up there. It is 2 foot overhang off the front. It is 2 foot overhang off the back. And so now our next steps will be is to start to shore up. We've got some framing to do here on the middle wall, and then we'll start laying in some of our rafters. All right, so the last thing that we got done here is we got the wall installed and finished out. So in between the storage area here and the coop over there, we've got this nice little wall that we will have with chicken wire on it. And that chicken wire, we'll have a chicken wire door. And over here we'll have our nesting boxes. There'll be a double decker of nesting boxes. Over here we will have a bully pen, what we're calling the bully pen, or the emergency room, if you will. A way to segment off either a hen that's being a bully or one that has been pecked on and being bullied. We need to remove her from the group for the night or whatnot. We'll have a little cage over here. All right, so the last step before we move on to the roofing and the sheathing or the siding is to get the rafters installed, as well as the blocking in between the rafters. And so, yeah, after we get done with that, then the framing side of things is done. All right, so now we've got the rafters up, and in addition to the rafters, we're going to come back in and we're going to add some blocking. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm just trying to make sure we got something for the roofing to nail to. So that is what we'll nail the roofing material to. So the metal roofing will slide right in on top of that, and we'll screw our screws into the valleys of the metal roofing onto those blocking boards. And we'll just do that all the way across on both sides. We'll be done with that. The only thing left will be to put the floating rafters out onto the end, the tails on each of these ends. And we'll do that next time. I'm still debating on whether or not to do a fascia board. It's not necessary. We're only going to have about an 8 to 10 inch overhang coming off the barn. And what I mean by that is right here, all of these will be cut. And this is only going to be coming off maybe, 8 to 10 inches coming off of here. And so it's not necessary to have a fascia board. And of course, a fascia board is the board that does that. And if it's going to be way up here, there's really no need for it. The 2x4s are so close to the top plate where we've got them secured that there's no way that they'll wane. And the fascia board is more about looks than anything else. And so it's a chicken coop. So
it's an added expense we don't really have to do.
It's a couple of extra 2x4s, which is about $180.
I say the chickens can do without a fascia board.
That's right. The chickens can do without a fascia board. Hey, listen, guys, we hope you all have a wonderful week and a very blessed week. Until we see you again the next time, we will see ya.